Have you ever seen one of those pictures, the ones where the ocean is lit up with this incredible otherworldly blue glow? It looks like something straight out of a movie. Well, what if I told you it's 100% real? Today, we're going to dive deep into this amazing natural phenomenon and figure out the science behind the magic. So, here's the big question we're tackling. What is making the ocean do that? What causes that magical light show? I can tell you it's not some kind of pollution, and it's definitely not a reflection from the stars. Nope. The answer is actually alive.
All right, to really get to the bottom of this, we first have to kind of put ourselves there. We have to understand what it feels like to actually see this happen. So let's set the scene, because the experience itself is the first clue in this whole mystery.
Just picture it for a second. You're walking on a totally dark beach. The only thing you can hear is the sound of the waves. And then, with every single wave that crashes on the shore, the water just explodes in this pulse of electric blue light. You might even see your own footprints light up for a second as you walk across the wet sand. It's unreal. Now, as enchanting as it all seems, this isn't some kind of fantasy or magic. It's a biological process, a natural wonder called bioluminescence. And what that means is that there's a chemical reaction happening inside living things that's creating light. And the culprits here? They're tiny, microscopic even. So, who are these tiny little light makers? Well, it's time to meet the organism that's responsible for this huge, sparkling display. Okay, the star of our show is this single-celled organism called Noctilica scintillans. Yeah, it's a bit of a mouthful, right? That's probably why it has the much cooler and way more accurate nickname sea sparkle. And what is absolutely mind-blowing is just how many of them there are. I mean, these things are teeny tiny, but there can be thousands of them packed into a single drop of seawater. So just imagine, when you see a whole wave light up, you're looking at billions, maybe even trillions, of them all flashing at the exact same time. So how does this whole thing work? Well, these little guys float right near the surface. The light show gets triggered anytime they're disturbed, by a wave crashing, a boat going by, or even you just splashing your hand in the water. And this flash, it isn't just for show. It's an absolutely brilliant defense mechanism. Think of it like a tiny, super bright burglar alarm that's designed to startle anything that might be trying to eat it. Okay, this is where it gets even cooler. Sea sparkle isn't the only creature out there that can do this. Not by a long shot. This is all part of a much bigger underwater conversation, what you could call the language of light. And that really is the big question, isn't it? Why would any creature bother to produce its own light in the huge, dark ocean? Well, as it turns out, in a world with no light, being able to make your own is a critical tool for survival. For life in the sea, this light serves three main purposes. First, it can be used to communicate, like sending out signals to find a mate. Second, it's used for defense, creating that startling flash to scare off predators. And for some hunters, it's actually a deadly lure used to attract their next meal in the total darkness. And this quote right here, it just perfectly captures how vital this is. I mean, think about it. Once you get deep enough in the ocean, sunlight can't get there. It's pitch black. So down there, the only light that ever exists is the light that living things create for themselves. It's just wow. But plankton, they're just the beginning. This whole language of light is spoken by an incredible cast of creatures, from some you might know to others that are just deeply, deeply bizarre. The list of glowing characters in the deep sea is just incredible. We are talking about everything from glowing jellyfish and different kinds of squid to the very cleverly named flashlight fish. And of course, you've got the famous anglerfish. Yeah, the creepy one with the built-in headlamp from Finding Nemo. The glowing party even includes things like ribbon worms and tiny little crustaceans. So how do they get their glow? Well, they've got two main tricks up their sleeves. On the one hand, some animals can make their own light. They have their own internal chemical reaction going on, kind of like a biological glow stick. But then you have the clever ones who use a shortcut. A lot of animals just eat bioluminescent plankton and then they use the light from the creatures they just swallowed. It's literally like borrowing a flashlight by eating it. Okay, so I know what you're probably thinking right now. This is amazing, but where can I actually go see it for myself? Well, let's talk about that. The absolute best conditions for seeing sea sparkle are in warmer coastal waters. They really start to multiply when the water's warm, and you have an especially good shot at seeing them near river mouths right after a heavy rain has washed a bunch of nutrients into the ocean for them to eat. And hey, if you're in the US and you're hoping to check this out yourself, you're in luck. Here are 5 really well-known hotspots. Over on the East Coast, you've got Manasquan Beach in New Jersey and Cortez, Florida. Out on the West Coast, San Diego is famous for it, especially Mission Bay and Torrey Pines Beach. And for what might be the most brilliant glow in the entire world, there's the famous Mosquito Bay down in Vieques, Puerto Rico. So what this all really comes down to is that this incredible, beautiful light show is so much more than just a pretty thing to look at. It's a window into this hidden world of communication, of survival, and it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? If something this magical is being made by creatures we can't even see, what other secrets are still hiding down there in the dark?